Dee, 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 dee. Do. Aha. Well, you can't see that. Let's pick your head up a little bit. Here. See what I got in? I got a farmer's market every Sunday. Local fresh. Organic. Organic. Whoop. Organic. Alright. Yesterday was Sunday. And I had a couple that talked to me a couple weekends ago about repairing their Nintendo NESs. They have 2 of them. And I told them, sure, I can do it. So, what we're going to be doing today is fixing a couple of Nintendo NES for them. And we'll clean up some games for them. Now this one here, somebody took it apart. I think he did, trying to fix it, but he said he didn't know what was going on with it. So there's everything there. They sent me, let's see, what else they brought me. They brought me a RF adapter, power cable, dog bone for the Slim controller, and a couple controllers. I told them just to bring me what they wanted fixed and working. Now on this one, his wife or girlfriend, I'm going to say it's his wife, but I may be wrong, so we're just going to say his better half. She played this game a lot when she was a kid, and this was the whole reason for them to get back into playing the Nintendos, was because of Adventure Island. And she just loves this game, and she wants it to work. And let's see, they sent Castlevania, Wheel of Fortune, and Tetris. Okay, the story, a little backstory on these. This one, they bought online and was guaranteed to work. When they got it home, it didn't work. So they sent it back, and they said, sure, no problem. And they sent them another one, which didn't work. And it became such a hassle that they said to hell with it. They put that one in the corner, and he tore it apart to see, what was wrong, or if he could actually fix it. And I guess he didn't know what to do from there. But, which is okay. Everything's there, so it's not like it's been hacked up or anything like that. He just took it apart and looked at it and kind of said, yeah, right. Alright, this one was bought down locally. Same thing. Guaranteed. It was tested and working. And they got it home, and lo and behold, it doesn't work. And you know why this one doesn't work. There might be a slight problem with the 72-pin game connector in that one. I'm sure, yeah, you can get them to work if you piss around with them long enough, up and down, blowing in them, and half in, half out, and whatever. You could probably eventually get it to work, and play a game, and then next cartridge you put in, you have to do the same thing all over again just to get it to work. So, yeah, I guess technically they sold it as working. This one, bought online, I don't know what the hell, why they would guarantee it to work and it doesn't work. And then them going through the trouble of sending it back and getting another one, and it just becomes a hassle because you have to pack everything up and send it out and wait and wait and wait. So they just found another one locally, and yeah, same thing again. So what we're going to do for them is we are going to get both of these systems going I don't know if they're going to use both of them, or if they're going to get one going, or get them both going and then sell one off to pay for, you know, to have everything working, or if they're just going to have two systems around, you know, and put one in one room and one in the other. I don't know. Or maybe they have some family members that would love to have a Nintendo Entertainment System. So I think the first one we're going to tackle is the one that was bought online and they claimed guaranteed working. That's the one we're going to tackle first, the one that's all apart. So we're going to tackle that one first and see what we can come up with. We'll check everything out on it and we'll get her hooked up, and you know, we'll put it halfway together so at least we can test it. I really like to know what it is doing. If it is just a red binky, is binking along, or what it's doing. So I'll get you set up over here where I'm standing, and we'll get busy and see if we can get these two going for them. Cool, huh? Now let's start with seeing if everything's in its right place, so we're not pinching any wires when we put some screws in it. Looks pretty good. Let's see, let me find the two long ones and we'll get these two long ones put in here. Like I said, I'm just curious at the moment. I'd like to see what it's doing. Oops. We need to slide our tray on here. Remember that little tab underneath has to go over the circuit board. There we go, like so. Make sure we don't have any wires. Gonna get pinched where they don't belong. Here. Over there. That's good. Sounds good. Now we'll take our two long ones. Get the tray screwed down. Put two up front. Remember, this is just for testing purposes only. Actually, that one feels pretty darn good. Let's see. Get the AV plugged in. Power to it. she's flashing already. So first we're gonna, let's wait for the TV to come up. I'm gonna just pick you up a little bit so you can see the TV as well. Now this is the game she really wants to play, so we'll try Adventure Island. And you can see we still have the red blinky. Like I said, that one feels pretty good. I think that's the big one. Yeah, that's the big one. I need my little, there it is. Let's take a look at our game. See how the contacts look in it. Needs to have a security bit, and it's kind of a, you can get the bit on eBay, Amazon, anywhere. They all sell them, the security bits. This one, yeah, she's got a little bit of crud on it. Not too bad, but we are going to clean them. We're going to clean the game too, and make sure that it's not just a game it's got some dirty contacts on it. I use brass polish on them. And I clean every one of my games that come in. All the cartridges. I mean, when was Adventure Island? See, Adventure Island, that just says Nintendo 85. That's when Nintendo was, I don't know. Anyway, you know, we're looking at 40 years. And whatever you do, if you get a game that doesn't want to play, don't blow in it. The saliva that you blow into it has salt in it. And what is salt? Salt is an acid. And over time, from blowing in them, the salt in your saliva will deteriorate the contacts, and they get pitted. And once they start getting pitted, it's really hard to get them to work again. I've run solder overlays on them to fill in the pits and got them working, but you know, if it's a really good game, this is what I use for polishing my contacts. If it's a really good game, then yeah, then I'll do it. But if it's, you know, a common game that it's only worth about $5 or $10, you know, there's no sense in doing it. No, she's still a blinky. Okay, let's see if we can cheat a little bit. We'll pull him out, pull that out just so it does clip in there. And still blinky. One more time. And we get Mr. Blinky. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I know this, I cleaned that cartridge, so we know that cartridge is clean. So I'm going to tear this back down, pull the 72 pin game connector out of it. We're going to take a look at it and see if it's a new one or if somebody just refurbished it. Alright, I can't really tell if this one has been refurbished or if this is a new one. I went and looked at it under the old man light, and it's hard to tell. It looks like some of them had something under them and bent up a little bit, but which is fine. I'm not condoning anybody for the repairs. This board looks like it's had some work done to it, like some of the contacts were bad. But what we are going to do is try a new 72 pin game connector and see if my new one will work in it. See, this one just looks a lot better. Like there hasn't been anything pried on it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. The contacts are so close I can't look in there and see if there's any brass showing. Some of them, you look inside and you can see the chrome is all wore off of the contacts, and that will definitely cause a problem because the brass will get a lot dirtier than the chrome. Kind of stays clean. And yes, I know we just did a video on the Nintendo's NES's, but this way I can document to the customer as to what I had to do to get their stuff going. And you can look at it online or on YouTube. See exactly what I had to do to get their NESs going. Same thing, just for test purposes, I'm only going to put 4 screws in. Put the 2 big ones in the back and 2 small ones up front, just to hold our tray in place. Video, audio, power, Adventure Island. And there's Adventure Island. So it could be that this one has been refurbished. I think in my last video I told you how you can refurbish these by stretching the contacts back up so they make better contact with the game. The problem is these contacts do wear out after time. The chrome wears off of them, and then you end up with a brass or copper, whatever these contacts are made out of, and then chrome plated. Then the brass or copper, whatever it is, tarnishes, and it's hard to get in here and clean these. You can take one of those Nintendo 72-pin game connector cleaners and clean it, but you're constantly going to be putting up with dirty contacts in here. And once you have the dirty contact, then every couple of weeks or whatever, you're pulling it back down to clean. Or if you have one of those nifty little cartridges, you can just put it in and out and clean it up real good again. That's up to you. For my customers, I'd rather just put a new 72-pin game connector in it and be done with it. And then they don't have to worry about it for however long they last. But now we got this one going, we can go ahead and get everything all put back together on this one. We can test out a few more games with it. Like I said, Adventure Island is working, Castlevania. I haven't cleaned this game yet, so let's see if it boots even without being cleaned. Nope. Oh, come on, get out of it. Man, those new pin connectors are stiff. And nothing. So, same thing. This one doesn't have the security screws in it. It has the little flats straight, and I think that's also a Phillips in there too, but I've always had the best luck just using a straight screwdriver. Take them apart. We'll do the same thing to this one. This one had something in it. What? We don't know. And this is one, you can see the contacts right there. That's from being blown into. Hopefully it's not too bad and we can get the crud cleaned off of it. But just because you have a brand new 72-pin game connector does not mean that all your cartridges are going to work. The best thing to do when you put in a new connector is to go through and clean all your games. You don't have to clean them very often, but if you're picking up a used system and used games, this is a must. See that one on the end? That one always... That looks pretty good. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And get our screws back in. And I just wanted to show you that, again, even a brand new pin connector does not mean that all your games are going to work unless you've gone through and cleaned them all. Now watch this one make a liar out of me and still not work. Try out Castlevania again. And there's Castlevania. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you put in a brand new pin connector. Pin connector can be good, but your games can be dirty and it's just still not reading. So if you go through, if you buy a used one and you're putting a 72 pin game connector in it, make sure your games are clean before you start getting upset because I put a brand new game connector in it and it still doesn't work. Well, gotta have clean games too. Alright, I'll finish getting him put together. You've watched me put these together in the last video, so I'll get this one put together and we'll tackle the other one and see what we can do with it. And then we'll clean up some controllers, get the last two games cleaned up too. And then I have a couple I need to clean and test. And yeah, go from there. Alright, now we got System 2. Not NES Generation 2, but just another system. Okay, first we'll try Adventure Island. It just falls in. And of course we're going to have Mr. Blinky. And then we'll try, how about Wheel of Fortune? And of course, Mr. Blinky. And there's no reason for me to even clean a game. You've seen Adventure Island is cleaned and working. So we know this one is totally worn out. That pin connector is so bad, I don't even know if anybody, how the hell they were even playing it before it got that bad. What happens a lot of times on these pin connectors is all the NES games, there is no save mode. You know, you can't save your progress. So what people would do is they'd play so far and, oh, you know, now we have to leave. We have to go to the store. Or little Johnny has to go to school. And he doesn't want to lose his place. So what he does is he hits pause and leaves the game on with the cartridge in it. And it sits and we'll just say maybe 2 or 3 days later he remembers, oh, I was playing a game, I need to go back and play it again. So you just go back and turn the TV on or put it on RF, put on channel 3 and start playing again. The whole time that game is in the machine, scushing down the pin connector. So over time, with it sitting in there so long, the pin connector gets squashed out and it doesn't play anymore because it had a cartridge left in it for weeks on end. So, moral of the story is, when you're done playing, I don't care if you want to save or not. Turn it off and take the cartridge out of it. You do that and your pin connector will survive a lot longer than just having it and playing it. Just something to think about. If you squash out the pins, then they don't make contact anymore. Just like this one. And I know as a kid, you didn't care. Nobody told you. This was new stuff. This was new technology in 1985. See, we've got a few dust bunnies on this one. Okay, this is the one that they bought locally for them, and he said it worked. Well, yeah, if he didn't have a cartridge to test it with, he just turned it on and he seen the red blinky. Well, yeah, it works. And this one has not been messed with. There, battery went dead, and I don't even know where the hell I left off. What I was saying when I left off. But we are going to clean some dust bunnies out of this one. But yeah, it doesn't look like anybody has messed with that, the pin connector out of this game system. But it does have a couple of dust bunnies in it. These never did get too bad inside, you know, unless you have little critters running around in your house, then yeah, then they get bad. But there's no fan or anything in these. It's just a, you know, you have the shielding. Is like a heat sink as well. I figure the shielding that's in these is probably for RF interference or radio interference at the time. I know a lot of people tell you you don't have to put them back in, put them back on when you do this, but you know, they came with it on. Nintendo put them on for a reason. So they are going to go back on. If it came with it, then it's going to get it. But pretty clean inside these ones. Like I said, they don't get too bad. You know, I've had game systems in where you open them up and there's little critters running all over the place in them. I kind of lost interest there for a while in game systems. You know, I was getting into more of the arcade stuff, which I still am. But I have more and more people coming to me wanting me to fix their systems. So yeah, I kind of got a couple in and was working on them, and it kind of brought back that fire of wanting to mess with the old game systems again. And you know, I started doing them again for the outdoor market. I was kind of really enjoying working on them. Right now, they don't seem to be getting a whole bunch of views on YouTube, but you know, hey, there's a lot of people that subscribe to my channel that enjoy seeing me work on the old game systems, and I'm starting to enjoy it again. After a while, you get kind of burnt out on certain stuff, and you know, you just kind of, I don't know, you don't really lose interest. You just kind of Yeah, I guess you lose interest in it. But you know, you still know everything about them. It's just half the stuff you forget. And once you start working on them again, you start remembering all the little tricks to get stuff going and what has to be done. And like I said again, I'm starting to enjoy working on old retro games systems again, and as people bring more and more to me to fix, I know it'll get around again that I'm working on them again, and I will get more in. Maybe some weird stuff will come in, maybe some weird problems, you know, who knows. Only time will tell as to what happens. Okay, see, this one isn't a blinky, this is just a solid. Oh, come on out of there, get out of there. Bang, you're tight. That's what we like to call Guten tight. Okay, Wheel of Fortune is a solid red. Usually solid red means that it's trying to read. You know, it's partially reading it, but it's not going through to the game chip. It is acknowledging that there's a cartridge in it, but it's just not making good enough contact for it to actually boot the chip. Let's see, which one is it? Should be the 88551KY. I'm pretty sure is the game chip. The other one's probably RAM or, you know, random access memory or something. I don't really get into it. I know when they're doing some of them that won't play. You clean them up really good and they still don't want to play. If you change the little capacitor on it, sitting right there, I've gotten them to come back. Changing that. The chips, ROMs, PROMs, whatever, with the code. I don't even know what you would do if one of those took a dump on you. And, you know, a lot of these games you don't really worry about it because a lot of these games are common, and if you clean it and it doesn't work and you change that little cap and it still doesn't work, you know, you're better off to just put it in the drawer and go find another one. Like Wheel of Fortune, at the time when we had the store, Wheel of Fortune I think was selling for like $7.99, you know, $8 or something like that. It's a common game. It's a good game. A lot of people like it. You know, it's kind of a trivia. And it's a good game. It's just not like Adventure Island or Castlevania. You know, those games bring a heck of a lot more than Wheel of Fortune. Oop. Get in there all the way. There you go. And Wheel of Fortune! Game Tech presents Wheel of Fortune, based on the television program, produced by Merv Griffin Enterprises, 1987. Yeah, alright, I was getting into it too much. Okay, so we now have Castlevania, Adventure Island, and Wheel of Fortune! That one works too. Now we have one more game here to clean up, and that is Tetris. I didn't even put it in and try it. But oh, that one is totally filthy. See, the chrome on the pin connector kind of protects the game contacts as well. You know, when you're pushing brass onto brass or whatever these ones are, I don't think they're gold plated. I think they're, here, look at that. That's what come off of that game. I think the brass on brass ends up being harder on them than just the chrome. The chrome kind of stays clean every time you push in a game. It should be kind of a self-cleaning. And same when you push the tray down. When you push the tray down, geez, come on. Your cartridge goes in here. And when you push the game down, what it does is it'll slide on those and slide on those. You know, as it goes down, it'll kind of slide in and slide out a little bit, giving it kind of a cleaning action. And the chrome will clean up a lot better than just brass, because brass will tarnish. So if your pin connector, you know, you can refurbish them, you tighten the pins up and all that, but you still have brass on brass, and brass tarnishes pretty stinking quick. So once all the chrome plating is wore off of the contact, it is no longer making as good a contact as chrome on it, because it'll get dirty real quick. Alright, that's okay. Now we have Tetris. Let's see what Tetris does. It's a little garbled. Yeah, we got some funky going on in here. And that's usually dirty cartridge. Let's see if we got a good contact. There we go. Now, same thing. You put it in, you push it down. It kind of self wipes the contacts. And if there was still just a little dab of cleaner on it, and it was kind of, you know, giving it some interference, it was giving us just a little bit of a garble. And if you pull it out, push it back in and turn it on, then they work fine. Tetris is 1989 for all you people that are interested in that. And no, I'm not playing that, see? That's attract mode. Alright. Okay, now we got this one going. Now what I'm going to do is get it all put back together, and we need to start working on some controllers, getting some controllers cleaned up and working like they should. You watched me take it apart, and by golly, it's just opposite of taking it apart. You just start where you left off and go backwards. And before you know it, it'll be all put back together and ready to enjoy. Now, these two controllers are aftermarket controllers, and they're new. I tested them, they work just fine. I tested the dog bone works as well. Well, you have to have it plugged in first. So everything is working on these. So let's make sure Wheel of Fortune works. Tetris is working. Adventure Island is working. That little guy kills me. Oh, you can't see him anyway. Here, that little guy, the way he runs. And Castlevania. And Castlevania works. So all of our cartridges and all of our controllers work. Now I think we are ready to finish this video up. I like the way he trips over the rock. Ah, but you can't. Okay, you can't touch them. I've never played this game, so. And I don't. Ooh, there was a banana. Oops, you can't go backwards. Okay. Missed the banana again. I love the way he runs, his feet kicked out in front of him, and when he's standing still, look at him marching. Da, 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 da. Okay. I take it you don't want to touch the birds. Nope. Alright. Now we know all of our games work. Both of our consoles are working. So it's all ready to go back to them and they can enjoy them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's see, I do have some more game stuff coming up. I have some other, was at the auction last night and bought another load of crap to work on here. Mainly some electronics, mainly some stereos, some DVD players, VCRs. A lot of this stuff I am just testing and getting ready. I'm not even videoing it because it's I don't get a whole lot of views on that type of stuff. Now I know on the video games everybody likes to watch me get these old systems working, and it's kind of nice when I get some customer work, because then I'm not just always working on my own stuff, I'm working on customer stuff. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave me a comment. So until next time, see ya.